The name of this video is going to be bone marrow pain. I guess with this lock journey, the more my hair grows, the more I grow. I got hit by a car not too long ago, and that's what I was saying. Being a pessimist, I have to be an optimist. My inner thigh hurts along with pain from penetrative sex with men. So that's what I was trying to tell people. I done survived a lot of shit in my life. I'm not really playing no victim. I'm just more so speaking on what truth is. The truth is, when I was a kid, I would hear my mom vent about her problems, and she really had nobody to talk to. And my anxiety started to rise when people started belittling her, but nobody can change the fate of their life. You know what I'm saying? Like, my mom and dad, both of them, they were awkward to me. I was a kid and I would hear people belittle my mom, and I would get mad because at the end of the day, she had me, and I'm pretty sure at the end of the day, if fate could have been turned around, her and my dad would have been together. But in reality, they both came from dysfunction. So at the end of the day, it just kind of fucked up that that my mind is kind of messed up because of pretty much not being able to experience life to perfection. And I think that's where all of the analyzing that I've done, it shows. When you do random stuff, sometimes people don't realize when you go through something, it'll show. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody deserves some type of love. Like, me being an analyst and start freestyling and coming up with shit, being a damn study of life, like a damn biologist. That's the point of going to school. And speaking of going to school, my little sister Frankie is about to graduate college. So shout out to her. That's something that I want to do too. But I'm too busy worried about this whole wanting to be a goddamn guy thing. And I think, like I said, the reality I needed to face was that I was born a female and I was not going to really have male privilege, Started comparing myself to other people's fate. But, I mean, that's just me being an intellect. I grew up in a neighborhood, in a small little ghetto. It wasn't really ghetto, but it just seemed that way. Like I said, a lot of things that we consider ghetto, like people that speak Ebonics and shit, Geechee people growing up, and people having guns and shit, and just, smoking weed. Yeah, that's pretty much when you hear all these rappers rapping and yapping about having baby mama drama. That's pretty much, what music is expressing. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I rejected the fact that I wasn't born a boy, because at the end of the day, it do seem like a simple life. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to analyze the dysfunction. If they're cool, if that's what it is, this is what I come up around. Like, the projects, niggas, being masculinist, niggas wanting to goddamn be killers and do all this crazy shit. But I'm like, what's the underlying root of your goddamn insanity? You need love, but everybody, everybody's life ain't the same. Like I said, when it comes to racism and the construct of, colorism and all that shit, a lot of people have different fates. You know what I'm saying? I've been around people that's like Chicano, and for some reason, I kind of feel happy around those type of people. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm saying, from learning about slavery and sitting here thinking about all this shit, and understanding from an intellectual perspective that I am just a black woman, but I could work out really, really hard, cut my damn chest off, and project myself as a man to some degree. But, like I said, ain't nothing like having the full essence of what you want. That's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, there are people that are going to turn themselves into men and do this. And it's not out of insecurity necessarily. And what I mean by that is, I was born a woman, so I was expected to be a woman. But I'm too, like, it's a lot of people that's dead and that's not here, so I gotta appreciate life no matter what. But that's something that I could do, you know what I'm saying? But being that, you know, I grew up around people, you know, pretty much getting sexually abused and shit, and just doing random shit, you know what I'm saying? Hermits, that's what it was. Hermits, inbreds and shit. We getting all these labels, and it's causing us to have a lot of negative imbalances and people getting diagnosed with all these different mental illnesses. When reality, love is what we need. That's why I said, can't judge nobody. There's these dynamics. They formed naturally. You know what I'm saying? But some things don't seem natural to some people. It just depends on your level of intellectualism. I'm not that smart. Like I said, I dropped out of school in 9th grade. So I've never really expanded my mind outside of just growing up and being Sade and wanting to be a damn dyke. Right? That's why I limit myself. Like, so at the end of the day, that's why I was getting mad, because I'm like, if I was a boy, I'm really sitting here overthinking this shit based off the fact that I just want to feel happy. I'm like, damn, if I was a boy, that nigga would have never even tried to stuck his dick in me. I mean, make sense? Like, you know what I'm saying? There are some cons to being a woman. You know what I'm saying? I understand that getting pussy is good, and you know what I'm saying, it's natural to certain people, but it wasn't natural for me to go over somebody's house and goddamn try to sit down with him and play a video game, and he used his manhood against me. But this is where the ghetto mindset comes in, where people have to learn how to realize, like, you know what I'm saying, growing up watching TV and shit, I guess I formed a paradigm, seeing the dynamic of human trafficking, understanding the concept of prostitution and pimping. You know what I'm saying? I grew up around a lot of Geechee people. A lot of the music I listened to, you know what I'm saying, I appreciated and valued them, you know, because I grew up around a certain amount of people that were taking pride in being Geechee and shit, and realized that at the end of the day, we were nobody special, but they were special to their own self. Like, they had their own little family and shit, and that's what I basically kind of get mad at, because I'm like, my mama had me, my mom and dad, they were like oddballs, you know what I'm saying? My dad go to work every day, my mom did too, and we pretty much, you know what I'm saying, just living life, like, growing up and just learning more about shit. Like, I ain't expect my mom to have more kids, but I appreciate my little sisters. But, you know, just from a superstitious point of view, like I said, she has 4 girls. She didn't have any boys she grew up with, so we can relate to that as far as dealing with this whole idea of manhood and being oppressed by it a little bit.
Don't turn the stove on high if you're not watching it.
Alright, I might come in there. But yeah, pretty much that's what happened. Like, little boy fucked me. The motherfucker tried to justify it with he was just a boy, a kid. You know how kids are. But in reality, no. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really scorned from the situation, but I was trying to feel that way based off the fact that I knew and listened to my mom saying I grew up, this and that and the third happened. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I had common sense. I'm like, you grow up around 2 boys and seeing all these old school niggas. I got grown men having sex with me and shit. Whatever. I submitted to them. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, this is part of being from the ghetto. We do a lot of shit just out of habit, just out of being hermits, just out of being bored, just trying to figure out something new to do. You know what I'm saying? I done wrote all kind of songs just listening to people's conversations. You can listen to, you know, the songs I wrote, you know, just analyzing conversations between heterosexual people, man and woman coming together. You know what I'm saying? I view myself, I used to go around telling people I was gay, not because I was actually gay, because I had been introduced to sex the wrong way, but because I had formed a paradigm based off just living in the ghetto, watching TV, and I'm like, I feel like a hoe, so I got bitch. So that's pretty much where that come from. You grow up in the ghetto, nobody wants to be bitch, everybody wants to, there are people forming superiority complexes over me and my mom, and that's the point of, you know what I'm saying, learning about sexual abuse and not wanting to be bitched and shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I go to an outdoor therapeutic program. I'm like, I'm losing my mind all because I got stress, bone marrow pain. I am being sensitive about this shit because at the end of the day, there are people that are sitting here enjoying themselves. I can't enjoy sex with a man because in reality, there's a lot of people growing up in the goddamn ghetto and they are being macho about the level of pain that they experience. So, with all that being said, you know, me being conscious about a pig land tongue, and I always listen to pig land based music. I don't need y'all to goddamn understand it, goddamn it. People got their families and shit they go through, but y'all motherfuckers goddamn get, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all. Regardless of how much I don't like y'all motherfuckers, I appreciate y'all. I promise you that. Because I'm always sitting here feeling stimulated, and I always sitting there trying not to think about certain people that speak pig Latin, presidents. That's what I mean by being a mental person. I'm saying here, goddamn, getting aroused, but I'm feeling bone marrow pain. Feeling like somebody dick going inside and outside my vagina. That shit is not comfortable. That's why I'm always moving my life around like a crackhead, because I'm constantly thinking about people that speak pig Latin. Shano. Yeah, but I'm an empath. I'm very sensitive nature. I've mocked a lot of people. I read a lot of people I've been around. I like just mock their whole presence. That's the point of having a heart for people. Like I said, this whole sexual connection, I try to justify it in my head. Somebody has sex with me, I try to justify it with naturalism, and I'm like, well, I'm still kind of in pain. It is what it is.